Arriving at court to meet my client George, who is facing sentence for dangerous driving, I am greeted not only by the client, but by his familiar-looking friend. George, a disqualified driver, has led the police on a lengthy pursuit, travelling at speeds of 90 miles per hour through 30 mile per hour zones, veering onto the wrong side of the road, through red lights and over roundabouts, until he drove into a dead end. There was dashcam footage from the pursuing police car, which captured not just the driving, but George and his passenger frantically disembarking and running away. Fruitlessly in George's case, fruitfully in the case of his passenger, who had the presence of mind to pause to give a middle finger to the police dashcam as he leapt across the car's bonnet and danced off. George's companion, having successfully evaded the attentions of the police, is here because he's been told that the prosecution is likely to play the dashcam footage, and I want to see myself on the big screen. I advise George that the one thing guaranteed to secure him the maximum 2-year sentence is his fugitive accomplice gurning appreciatively from the public gallery. This is George's third conviction for dangerous driving, and he's looking not only at custody, but a lengthy disqualification. The thing is, George has been disqualified from driving on 8 previous occasions, and every single time he simply gets back behind the wheel, typically borrowed without the owner's consent, and keeps on driving as carelessly or dangerously as he pleases. Sometimes he's caught and given a few weeks inside, more often not. As with career burglars, the odds of detection are very much in his favour, and the occasional stint in prison is simply written off as a business expense. The systemic delays — it has taken 14 months to get to this sentence hearing, despite George admitting the offence in his police interview and pleading guilty straight away — only serve to further distance in George's mind the eventual punishment from the crime. Once upon a time, I might have suggested that the way to deal with George is to impose increasingly severe sentences until he sees sense. But it is insanity to clog up our prisons with non-violent offenders. A more potent deterrent for those like George would be increasing the chances of being caught and dealt with swiftly. There is a wealth of academic research that shows that immediacy and a certainty of punishment is a greater deterrent than severity. This plainly makes sense. Believing that you're likely to be caught and immediately punished is going to weigh heavier on your mind than an airy confidence that you're unlikely to be caught, and that even if you are, your fate will be kicked several years down the road. Yet whenever our politicians talk about deterrence, it is only ever in terms of longer prison sentences. The notion that more might be achieved by improving things pre-sentence, funding an efficient framework that prevents the acts that are filling those prison places, never seems to occur. So at what point does optimism end and give way to the nihilism of prison sentence after prison sentence, on the basis that we can think of nothing better? These questions trouble me.